been a minute since this thing ran.
Doing some digital marketing, which is great.
Oh baby, oh baby. Today I want to clean the shop, and this truck I'm going to plug it in right away. That's the water truck. We'll plug it in and get it warmed up for overnight, because I want to pull that into the shop tomorrow to get that one out of the way. The thing I want to work on is filming in front of people, and I don't know if I should be asking people's permission or just doing it. I mean, it's their fault for being on camera in front of me. Shit. Oh man. Oh. Oh, it's low coolant. Great. That's another thing I have issues with. Keeping coolant in my vehicles. Oh. Better close my door in my garage. I got a $2,000 hydro bill, electric bill, for my garage today. Whenever I got it. It showed up and it was $2,000. And I was like, what the fuck? This truck doesn't have hand controls. So, I mean it does, but they're just kind of not hooked up. So if you're a cop, disregard. Oh shit, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to unplug the fucking thing. That would have been bad. Man, if you guys are making resolutions to make your life better in 25, I want to hear them. And but I will say though, man, I can be motivated to set resolutions, but I set some resolutions last year, and I set a resolution to be more disciplined, and I wasn't. I don't feel like I was. One, let's say, right? And so then that's the finish of the reading, and then they send you the bill, and it's not due till like the 15th of the next month or something. Okay, thanks, goodbye. All right, so $1,900 was an F up on their part. I just moved to that house, so it was $600. A bit of a mess around the first couple months getting that billing all figured out, but it was $600 a month for like the first 3 months, which makes sense because I figured it'd be about 200 and some bucks to heat that place. And then for whatever reason, they said, oh, the month of December was $2,000 because they were just estimating it because they couldn't get up the lane to read the meter. So they admitted they fucked up, but that's kind of crazy. They sent out $2,000 in 1 month and expect that to be just okay. Maybe I mean, it's probably peanuts to them, but come on guys, look at old statements. Jesus, it's not that hard. Anyways, I was saying about resolutions. If you're gonna make a resolution, even if it is to be more disciplined, you gotta, like, if you set if you set your resolution when you're motivated, that's awesome, but motivation will not last. It doesn't last, so you got to be disciplined. So it's kind of weird. I wanted to be more disciplined, and I was given every opportunity to be more disciplined, but I wasn't more disciplined. That's just me being lazy. And but this year, man, I want to be more disciplined, and that starts with, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna like put it off. If the words come out of my mouth that I'm gonna do something, it's going to get done, and I'm going to do it. Dropping what I do and do it at that moment in time. There's no like putting it on the shelf, do it another day. Like, no, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I think that's hold myself accountable. That's it. Enemy number one. January 1st, 2025. The 2nd today, but you know how it is. Things are looking up, man. I'm excited for 25. The yields are gonna be good, weather's gonna be good. Equipment's not gonna break down as much. I mean, that's full of shit. I'm full of shit with that, but dude, we're gonna yeah. It's gonna be a good one. Keep costs under control. Commodity prices are down, but we're gonna fucking nail it. We're gonna keep profitability up. That's it, man. Running a business, dude. We're gonna make some sacrifices this year, but Yield's not going to be one of them on my end anyways. Mother Nature might have something else to say about that, but so I am going to clean the shop today. We got the truck here, the dually here, so we're going to load that up with trash. Yeah, and then God, jumping in another vehicle is you kind of feel displaced a little bit, but whatever, we'll make it work. So the reason I'm fixing that truck is, I mean, obviously there's some obvious shit that needs to get fixed that I just don't really care to do. But if I'm going to be driving that thing across America, all the way down to Florida, I'm going to want it in pretty good shape. Everyone's like, why don't you just buy another vehicle, buy another vehicle? It's like, why the fuck would I want to go into debt to just buy a depreciating asset like a truck? I mean, you need a truck, you're going to use it every day, probably the best return on investment as far as all the equipment that I own, because it's going to be used daily and it's important to have something in good working order. But I mean I could keep that Chevy truck, the black one I got, and just have it as a farm truck, but I'm still going to want it, you know, proper maintenance on it. So, and then to say I'm going to go buy another truck just to drive down to Florida, that seems silly. And then, or to have another truck, a good truck just for driving, or like keeping it nice in good condition, that's also dumb. It's like all I do is farm. So I mean, for that one time on the weekend that you go to town, is it worth buying a new vehicle? No, fuck that. This truck, that black truck, paid off. Life's good, man. Seems to be the case, so you pay something off as soon as it's depreciated to nothing. That's farming anyway. All right. Hey guys, finally. Peace and quiet. Got the heat on. Gonna make a coffee. Tractor's warm. Waiting for me to put it out in the cold. And really, there's not a lot to do in here. I just gotta clean up this shit, this whole spillage situation. A few tools, sweep up. Tools, that stuff. That stuff will be easy. This is kind of a figure out as I go, piece through it. That is a mess. And then this whole desk here is a mess as well. So we will we're just gonna pick through it. All this shit can go to the dumpster. We gotta go fill up the propane tank. I pulled this shit out of the tractor. This can all be tidied, but really not that much. I really should be making a list of all the stuff I want to fix before I go to Florida here. This is our checklist board. We put down everything that we're working on. Basically, as we pull something in front of the shop, or we want to make a list of what we want to do, we put it on here. Everything goes on here, and as we do it, we cross shit off. So yeah, we had the air seeder in front of the shop and the air seeder tank in front of the shop before everything froze up. We basically touched all the shanks, the hole, everything went, we went through like damn near everything on that air seeder. So it's pretty good to go. Just gotta, well, we're gonna have to wire it into a new tractor. So a lot of testing and shit, the electrical shit, and gonna be a lot of electrical gremlins, I think, hooking up to the new tractor and getting that all sorted out. But other than that, the whole mechanics of the air seeder are ready and it's in good shape. We did a lot of work. A lot of leaky hydraulic cylinders. We changed all those, and different shit that is gonna save us a lot of time in season. No more breakdowns. That's the plan. But we got to redo this board because this is so out of date. I still have one I sprayed, desiccated all our crops on here for pre-harvest. So that's so irrelevant right now. Pressure washer, all that shit, like, geez, come on, dude. We had the fertilizer trailer in here. That's got to go for a safety. We had the 3500. The truck I'm driving now was in here already. So really, we need that blue truck, the water truck. Finish this thing up. The Versatile and the 4450 tractors. I'm trying to sell them, so I mean they don't really have to go through the shop here. And then both grain trucks, I mean, be nice to give them some time. And then other than that, I mean, maybe the auger, the loading auger for loading trucks, that could see some love. But really, nothing more. I mean, got the quad here, that could use an oil change, some servicing, and then this forklift, we hardly ever look at that, so that could use some love. But let's just start with a clean slate. January 2nd. Man, it'd be so nice to have this clean January 1st to be able to say that, but we're gonna start with a clean slate, clean everything up, sweep the floor, neat and tidy, tools organized, day 1, 2025, so looking up. That's crazy that was $2,000, and then they just said, they didn't even read the meter to double check. They just said, oh, you owe $2,000. Idiots. Fuck you. You start a farm from scratch, man. You learn how to save fucking money, I tell you what. That has been a challenge. Starting this farm from scratch is you have a weird perception of, you're always scared you're gonna lose it. And I wonder if second and third generation farmers have that feeling. Like, I have a perpetual feeling where even though I'm pretty financially secure for the most part, I mean, you have a crop failure one year, you're gonna be pretty out on your ass like any farmer is, because there's so much risk there and so much on the line that it's kind of hard to get through a big crop failure. Even crop insurance can't really save you too much, but it'll help let you farm another year. But dude, that you have a crop failure, you can suck out, because my costs are above what I'm insured for, so I'm risking that top end, which is the most risky. That's my profit, is that top end, and that's what you're risking. Like, that's what you're fighting for. But anyways, yeah, I was saying, like, you start far from scratch. Do the second and third generation farmers have that same feeling of, oh my God, I could lose all my money that I've worked up for tomorrow? Like, I feel like those guys who have been in the game for a few generations, they have so much equity built up and land paid off and different shit like that, and like strong working capital, that it's not, they've never really lived through that. I mean, I don't want to speak for anybody, but I just feel like as an outsider looking in, they have never gone through what I have gone through. And if you don't like that, whatever. If that ruffles your feathers, whatever. But I do feel like there is a certain level of privilege that second and third generations farms have, and they will never understand what it takes to start a farm from scratch. They have a different level of risk that they're used to, but I don't think to say that they've understand what it could be like to lose everything, because I feel like they've always had, you know, their dad or whoever they inherited the farm from to look out for them and teach them and pick them up when they're down. And dude, start from scratch, you do not have that opportunity. But anyway, you know, if you are looking to start, I mean, that's maybe an opportunity that I can shed some light on. If you are interested in farming and you want to farm, and you're first, like you have no one to, you're not born into it or whatever, you got to start from scratch, I would say go find some farmer who's retiring, and because if they don't have any kids or something, they don't want to see, I mean, if they don't care, a lot of those older guys, I mean, if they don't care about, some of them are like, fuck it, I just want to go spend my retirement on a beach somewhere. That's tough. I would say you're probably not going to convince them otherwise, but there are a lot of farmers out there who want to give a young guy a chance, and they might be willing to work on like a vendor-backed, like you buy them out over time instead of you having to go to a bank. Maybe they give you a break on the interest or on payments, or even maybe not even a break on that. They just giving you the opportunity, because a lot of the banks, dude, they're not gonna take a chance on you, because banks nowadays, if you want to buy land or equipment, like you need 20% down, and you're not going to be making an income off of a quarter section, and let's say 120 acres at $4,000 an acre. What's that? Like $480,000, and 20% of that is 80 some thousand dollars, $88,000 cash. Because I haven't bought land, so I don't have any land to put up as collateral if I want to go buy land. So that has to be straight up cash if I want to just buy 140 acres at $4,000 an acre. And Jesus, on that half section or on that quarter section, you ain't making shit for money, dude. Like, even at, let's say, $75, $80 rent, if that's what you're doing now, like, your profit margin on that might be, I don't know, 70 bucks an acre, let's say. And all of a sudden you want to go and buy that, you're paying $300 an acre, $400 an acre in land payment versus 70 to 120 bucks in rent. Like, I mean, buying land is not cash flow worth a shit. And you're not making money on that. So that's really the downside of, that's what I'm competing with being a first gen farmer is, I'm fighting against farms who have land paid off. They're gonna be first in line. The banks are gonna give them money to buy that quarter section before they give it to me, because way less risk giving to somebody who's got that much capital built up. But yeah, like I said, go, you wanna start a farm, just go talk to an old retired farmer who doesn't wanna like just sell to the big guy. They probably, I mean, there's no harm in asking. See if they wanna help you get started. Don't expect anything for free. I will not vouch for, I won't say that's the answer, but I mean, they know what it takes to keep a farm going. And they'll understand what you need a lot better than a bank will. All right. Whew. Dude, that's all I can think about these last couple of days is I'm getting more and more excited for Florida. Paid some big bills today. We sent $150,000 to Richardson because we bought some fertilizer and chemical from them. Paid them back, and then we'll have another bill to go to another crops of. Oh shit, we got 3 more bills to pay, all compiling probably 500 or 600 grand that we got to pay within the next 3 months. So before I go to Florida, I want to make sure all that shit's, you know, managed. Grain is sold or scheduled to sell. Delivery can happen without any flaw and any fucking holdups. While I'm gone, I don't want any guys who are working here to have any sort of issues that I can control before I go. But dude, I can't wait. All I'm thinking about is sitting on that dock, catching fish, man. Bluegills are so fun to catch. They're little like fish about this big. They're just little fighters. They'll come up, bite your bait. Easy to reel in, not very pokey, not slimy, just grab onto them, chuck them back in. My uncle's got them trained, he feeds them catfish food. Shit, you just chuck it in off of the pier, off the dock, and then just chuck your fishing rod in and you just bloop, bloop. It actually kind of gets boring after a little while, but dude, it so beats minus 30 in the wintertime here. Just sitting on the dock, it's like 25 degrees out. Every single day you can count on it being warm. Not too humid. We go out on the lake, we catch speckled perch. Sit up in the reeds. Take some sandwiches with you, some chips, get some treats. Hell yeah, man, life's good, I tell you what. I'm super blessed to have those guys down there, so. Have you seen this thing yet? It's my floor sweeper. Saves me so much time. Something I can do. All right, hold on. Fills up quick though. This is one thing that I liked. I bought this, like, one of the first things I bought for the shop was I like a clean floor, and it's a pretty big shop to sweep. I mean, not the biggest shop to sweep, but it's a big shop to sweep if I want it swept every few days. So we bought this, and dude, I can do it. I essentially got a ride-on floor sweeper. Sit on this thing and just push it. It's great. It's a lot easier if there's nothing in the shop too. Just go back and forth. Like you would be probably surprised how many retiring guys, or they don't even have to be retiring. They just might just not want to farm anymore, and they just want to slow down. They can help you get started. But when I started farming, we had our versatile and our air seeder and that loading auger. There's something else. I think it was maybe, and he was going to set us up with some harrows too. But we had no cash. We needed an air seeder and a tractor and that auger to put the crop in. And we borrowed a grain truck that first year. I had my seed tender for the seed business that year, so that's what we used for seed. We used a grain truck for fertilizer to get the crop in the ground. We had everything custom sprayed, but to get the crop in the ground, we needed that equipment. We had no cash, zero. And so I talked to a farmer who I sold seed to, and he was getting out of the game, so he rented us a quarter section. And I also asked him if he would help us get started with the equipment, and he had this air seeder and the versatile tractor, and he offered, and I asked, would you sell it to us over time? And he said, yeah, for sure. And he helped us out to get going. So I've made my last payment on that stuff last December. So 7 years, 2018, 6 years, a 6-year loan. That makes, 6 years. So yeah, I don't know how I would have done it otherwise. It would have been try to work off. You could work labor for somebody, go help somebody else farm, and then trade labor. That could be an idea too. But either way, now I'm super blessed to have all the equipment I have, and sometimes you just need that little kickstart, a little help. That's all it is. And don't be afraid to ask either. I mean, the worst they can say is no. And you're no farther ahead than where you are currently. So just don't be scared of rejection. I mean, I am kind of scared of rejection, but just try not to be, work through it. There's no harm in asking, and that's, if you want something bad enough, you just gotta ask. And yeah, there's a lot of guys out there who are looking. There's gonna be a huge transition of wealth in the next 20 years here. Think of all the land that is owned by 70-year-old bachelors. A lot of opportunity out there. Canola prices are up. They're almost back up to 14 bucks, and that's kind of where I want to sell some grain at. And the wheat's also almost up to, we're $8 again. Locally here, just 15 minutes to town. And we're hauling it about actually half an hour, 40 minutes away there, and then the return drive, and we're only hauling tandem loads. The reason we're sending it that far was because that wheat was a little tough, and they have a dryer, they'll dry it for us. We can't send that stuff to town if it's wet because they can't handle it. They don't have a dryer. So we've run into, all these last loads have been actually under 14% moisture, which is more than dry. That's dry. Under 14 is dry. They'll take that. They might even take 14.5 up to 15 to blend it off if they have a lot of dry stuff coming in also. But the fact that we're pulling dry, it doesn't make sense to be driving it that much farther. So I think what we'll do is we'll try to find some more wet grain, wet wheat in the bin somewhere to send to the guys with the dryer. And then if we have any dry grain, we'll send it just here locally, because it doesn't make sense to be hauling dry grain halfway across the country. I'm gonna phone the elevator though to see what canola prices are at today, because I see they're jumping a little bit.
At 13.80 right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the wheat. Was there anything?
13.82 is canola,
Okay.
and the wheat is at 7.81.
Okay. Any targets hitting on the wheat?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
How are you guys for delivery this coming month on canola and wheat?
To bring stuff in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the canola again? 1385?
13.82.
1382. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Could you sell me like 5,000 bushels at that of
At the
canola?
13.82?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I've got some. Yeah, if you want to put a target in for like 795 wheat
Okay.
for 113.5. Do like 5,000 bushels right now. I just want to see if it'll hit.
Okay. 5,000 as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Run that for a week. Run that for 2 weeks maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The canola,
you
just
just
sell
want
it.
to sell those?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. We'll do that.
All right. Okay, well, as soon as we get some trucks up, we'll start sending some in.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're moving some canola. We got some big bills going out here. I'll tell you what we got. We've got due at the end of February. We've got $223,000 due to Nutrien. That's fertilizer and chem that we used this past year, and then another Red Ferns Farm Supply. They're taking 60 grand from us. I just paid 150 grand today to, or who else is that? 65. And then there's another one, FBN's taking, I think, like 50 G's too. So I think we only got like, I don't know, 100 grand in the bank after we got some checks in, and then that went directly out to the guys the Richardson elevator. We just paid them today, so that basically went in and out, and we should be sitting all right for cash. So I just want to make sure the grain keeps moving, so that we're not getting behind, because it does take to, let's say you didn't have any money in the bank, we paid all our bills, and we owe $223,000 by the end of February. That leaves us 8 weeks to move as much grain, that amount of grain, as possible. So yeah, to say like you might have money in the bank, you might have that $500,000 worth of grain in the bank, but it's not worth anything unless you can sell it, and you actually exchange it for cash. So, and that takes time to move that amount of grain. Let's say we had no money, we got to come up with $300,000 of let's say canola. $300,000 of canola divided by $14, that's 21,000 bushels divided by 650 bushel loads on our trucks. That's 32 truckloads, and we could maybe do 5 loads a day if we're hauling locally here. So that's 6 days straight, no issues. So let's say that's 6 business days straight, 6.5 business days straight. So let's say you have an issue and that stretches out to, that could be a whole 2 weeks. So it adds up. It takes time to do that kind of shit. So what do we sell? We just sold 5,000 bushels of canola and put a target in for what, 10,000 bushels. I can't even remember. I'll have to watch this video again. So check it out. How nice does this look now that we did a quick sweep up? It's like so much, all this trash is gone. We cleaned up all the tools sitting around. Like, there's still quite a bit to do. This toolkit needs to be addressed. This bit of clutter going on there. This pile of shit is still there, and that cupboards, they need to be addressed. And Oh God. I feel like we've done a lot. Now that I'm pointing it out, it doesn't seem like we've done a lot, but we have done a lot. And it just, having the floor clean, that was like 90% of the work. I feel like just picking all that shit up and putting it where it needed to go. Dude. But now we're going to bring in, tomorrow on the list, we're going to bring in the grain truck that's sitting outside. That's what we're going to bring in because we're not hauling grain with it. We're going to get that, try to change all the fluids on it tomorrow, pull it right up in here, keep it warm, and yeah, just get it detailed, ready to go again, give it some love. That's the plan tomorrow. While I'm here and while things are working well, I'll try to schedule some grain now so that I can be around and help him if he needs help. There's nothing worse than being here in the cold, broken down, and you're fighting the weather, trying to move grain, and so that weighs on me. If I want to leave and enjoy my wintertime, it weighs on me just leaving, guys. So anyways, that's tomorrow. We're bringing that truck in. But yeah, thanks for watching today. Appreciate it. 2025 is going to be great. Each and every one of you, I love you. Catch you later.